Hello and welcome back to Blues Armory, where today we're talking about the Mandalorian Mercs Costuming Club. Let's get into it. So, in the length of my YouTube channel, I've made a few videos about my custom Mandalorian, wherever he's hiding down there, and my goals of joining some of the various Star Wars costuming groups, whether that be the 501st, Mandalorian Mercs, or even maybe the Rebel Legion, but probably not because good guys are boring. So I've been putting it off for a while since I finished my custom Mandalorian, which I'll put a picture somewhere here. I've been putting off actually joining the clubs and putting in my application and getting myself approved or not approved for a while. It's probably a confidence thing and I don't think my costume's good enough, but I decided to finally get my stuff together and put in my what they call a pre-application. So let me just explain quickly how this sort of works with the Mandalorian Mercs. Is you put in your pre-app, your clan or someone from your clan, your Russ, will go through your pictures and tell you any fixes you might need to make. Then you put it into a full application and everyone sees it, and then you hopefully get approved or not approved, kick back, change things, and it's a whole process. I currently sit in the Middle East, which has a stronghold but no centralized clan. That's basically because there's not enough members in a certain area to make up a clan, so they have these strongholds, which is part of the Oceania, Asia sort of stronghold thing. It's very complicated. There's no Mandalorians here. So I got my costume together. I'm pretty happy where it is at right now, and I took my pictures together. I'll put them here. Got the pictures all together, was really happy with them, and submitted them on the pre-app thread on the Middle East Stronghold on the forums. Then I waited for a bit, and I waited for a bit, and I waited for a bit, and I was quite happy to wait because at the end of the day, these costuming clubs are run by people that are doing it as volunteer positions. So if you put a picture up and want to be approved the next day and then start hounding people because they haven't replied within a day, you're a bit of a dick. I know we're all really excited to get involved in costuming, but remember, people are doing this as a hobby, and as much as you do a costume for a hobby, these guys are also doing costumes and running a forum as a hobby. They have real lives, they have jobs, so give them a break. So I was well expecting 2-3 weeks to wait, and I was totally fine with that because I've got other things I can work on. We hit like 3 weeks, and I don't think anyone had even seen my post. And then we got to about 4 weeks, and then just over the 4-week mark, I was thinking, this is taking a bit longer than I thought. And I spoke to some other people on forums and Facebook groups, and they all said that that was quite unusual, that it was taking this long, and I don't really quite understand how to use the forums yet, so I went to the Mandalorian Mercs Builders group on Facebook, which is an absolutely amazing resource if you need help with costumes, if you have questions about costuming, if you just have any queries or questions or want some inspiration about joining the Mandalorian Mercs. That is a great resource, and I highly recommend, if you're interested, join that group because the people there are amazing, and I'll get more onto that later. So I put up a post on the group just saying, hey, I'm well aware that people are busy and I know cons are going on, and just, I understand, but I feel like over 4 weeks now, I should have just had like something. And I didn't mean it in any disrespectful way whatsoever. I just this is my first application to a costuming club and I just didn't really know what was going on. So I decided to see if I could get some help. The outpouring of help from that group was incredible. People were so lovely. I had Russellos from the States, from the UK, tons of people jumping in to help me out and tell me that over 4 weeks is probably a little bit long, and they'll check in and see what's going on, including the overall Roos for he oversees everyone and all the applications anyway, and he said he'd look into it. And I felt like a bit of a dick because he was like, I've just come back for a con, let me get to it. And I'm like, no, please take your time, it's okay. I just wanted to know what was going on. So there was one guy that actually reached out to me who was from a clan up in Washington, I want to say. Kevin, who was an absolute superstar. He actually contacted me over Facebook and said, send me your pictures and I will basically treat it as if you were applying in my area and my clan, which for someone that doesn't know me, that found me on a Facebook group, to go to that length and that effort, it's just phenomenal. I'll show you like a couple, I won't show you the messages, but I'll show you some of the pictures here of what he was sort of, how he was sort of describing the things that needed to change on my costume. I cannot thank him enough. It's genuinely one of like the nicest, kindest things. And this is, we're in a very tumultuous area of Star Wars fandom at the moment where everyone seems to hate everything and everyone. But there's sometimes with Star Wars fans, and I truly believe that most of the Star Wars fans are just lovely, honest, nice people that want to help out other Star Wars fans. So for him to take time out of his day and comment on my pictures and give me fixes and everything so that it'll be easier for me on my application, absolutely amazing, so lovely. And a load of other people jumped onto my post on the forum. They went and found it and left comments and said, we'll help you out where we need. So to all of those people, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. That is incredibly kind of you. And it has just made me feel like this is a really, really lovely, nice community that we're all part of. So the biggest feedback came from this wonderful man, Kevin. He gave me a long list of very, very, very small fixes and a few tips and tricks on how to make those fixes even easier for me, make them as painless as possible. So a few things we need to go through on the kit that I'll tell you about now and what my plan is to fix them. So starting from top to bottom, it was the straps on my flak vest. Now, I recently got the straps replaced. They were these horrible pleather, disgusting things, and I just didn't like how they sat. So I got them remade in a nice fabric. I completely forgot that new straps would need to be weathered to my very weathered suit. So the straps definitely need to be weathered. He's also suggested to make my vest hang a little bit better, is that I widen the straps. That's an amazing point. I never even thought about doing that. I just got them exactly replicated the way that I had the original straps on there. Great point there. Then there was some weathering, especially on my arms, I think just where I'd missed somewhere, and like cracks and crevices where things had weathering and dust might have rubbed off. That's a really, really easy fix for me. Then towards the back, there's a lot of misalignment when it comes to my belts and the placement of my belts, and they're lifting up above the cummerbund. Yep, that's fine, totally understand that. I should have checked that before I took the pictures. I did get the suggestion that if you just maybe put a strip of Velcro at the back of your back, have the belt stick to that, and then that belt is not going anywhere. Another great piece of advice. My belts and my belt pouches definitely need more weathering. And again, it's one of these things is, you look at this costume for so long while you're making it, and sometimes you just get these like blinkers on and you think, yeah, this is great, I'm so happy with this costume. And then you miss stuff that is so simple, like weathering your pouches, because now I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, my pouches look brand new, my belt looks brand new, what am I doing? My kit looks like I've been dragged through a bush backwards, and then these brand new belts just make it look so strange. Another great point. Moving down towards the legs, mostly okay. I have black elastic on my knees, and that's a problem because it's supposed to be about the same color as your suit. So what I'm going to do there is I'm just going to remake the straps, or just wrap them in a bit of leather, so that the elastic, I can still keep the elastic, but the elastic showing is a brown leather, so it kind of just fits with the kit a little bit more. Another great suggestion from the guys at the Mandalorian Mercs was that, yeah, you can just wrap it in a bit of leather and make it look like a leather strap, and then you still get all the flexibility of the elastic as well. My knees, shins and boot covers were all looking a bit crowded, so I've had suggestion that I should maybe bring my knees up a little bit. For my photos, for some reason, I obviously have this ammo strip along beneath my knee and my leg. That's right, knee and leg. That sits there, and then for some reason I decided to add a pouch on the other side because I'd seen some other people with it, and he made the point that it's just too crowded. And I get that, it is too crowded, especially since I've added the shin and boot covers as well. Everything's just looking a little bit too crowded. Down towards my boots, I have a Skechers logo on my boot that I need to cover up. And the reason I haven't covered those up is because I bought those boots as a costume piece. And then I put them on, the Skechers. They're similar to the ones that were used in The Mandalorian. I put the boots on and I was like, oh, these are really comfy. I'd like to wear these. So I didn't want to damage them or ruin them or anything. So I haven't covered it up, but that will be done. And then that was about it. If there's anything else, I'll chuck it up here. But that was about it. Just, and again, more consistent weathering. And then for my pictures, just don't take your pictures in like very harsh light because that adds shadows and accentuates things that might not be an issue. And then just, I didn't have 2 pictures of my weapon system, which that's just stupid on my end. So overall, not that bad. Really, really not that bad. And everyone was so kind about my kit. Which makes me feel really good because I spent a lot of time on it, and sometimes, you know, when you've spent a lot of time on something and then you look at other people's kits and you compare them, which you shouldn't do, but everyone does, you're like, oh my god, my kit is nowhere near as good as some of these people, because my lord, there are some incredible Mandalorian kits out there, especially when I see them pop up on Facebook and I'm like, oh, mine is so terrible. But it's not. If you made it and you're happy with it, it's good, and I am, and I need to learn that. So a few changes to make, and I will make those over the next couple of weeks as I get chances in between the other projects that I'm doing. But overall, without even, this is sort of what my experience of the Mandalorian Mercs has been before even joining, and I haven't got anything bad to say at all. They've just been the nicest, most helpful, kind, lovely people, and I cannot thank the guys and girls that have been helping me out enough. If you are thinking about joining the Mandalorian Mercs, please just do it. I've put it off for so long. This is my second Mandalorian kit and I just haven't bothered to join because I was a little bit nervous and that I might get kicked back. But that's the whole point of this, is that they're trying to help you make your kit better. And that's because of the comments that the guys have made. My kit is going to be better. It will be 10 times better than it ever was. And that excites me because when I go out trooping and everything, it'll just make my kit, like it'll make my pictures look better and my Instagram content, and that's what it's all about apparently. But that's kind of it. I've got a few changes to make. As soon as I've made those, I will update you on here whether I get into the Mandalorian Mercs. So my aim this year is to end up in 2 costuming clubs. We will be in the 501st hopefully and the Mandalorian Mercs. Although the Mandalorian Mercs don't really have a presence over here, there's not really any Mandos, I will be waving the flag for the Mandalorians in the Middle East and the UAE. So if you would like to join my journey in joining the Mandalorian Mercs, you can subscribe and also head over to the forums or the Facebook group and get some great information on building your Mandalorian kit. But that'll do it for this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm very excited to get involved with the Mandalorian Mercs Costuming Club. Until I see you on the next video, hopefully, have a wonderful rest of your week. Happy crafting. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.